Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all thank the French-Norwegian Chamber of Commerce for organizing this seminar. I'm happy to see that we've been able to connect Oslo and Paris in the midst of a pandemic. And as some of you have mentioned, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a strong impact on the maritime sector as a whole. I believe, however, that this innovative event perfectly illustrates that the maritime industry is adaptable and able to seize opportunities also in challenging times. And I'm grateful for this chance to speak about Norway's policies for ocean-based industrial development and to put those policies into a larger context, namely our common goal for a sustainable future. Both France and Norway are leading ocean nations with important maritime industries. We share the same ambitions or fight on the same side, as Ambassador Segura said, when it comes to reducing climate change and to preserving biodiversity and the environment. Ocean governance and greening of ocean-based industries will be key in order to achieve those objectives. Our two countries have a long-standing tradition of working together also within ocean-based research and industrial development. Last year, our Institute of Marine Research in Bergen signed a cooperation agreement with IFREMER, the leading French maritime research institute, and our industries work together within several EU-funded innovation programs. So what's Norway's advantage when it comes to ocean-based industries? Well, Norwegians have always lived off the sea. Some of our most innovative businesses, jobs, and knowledge institutions trace their origins back to human settlements along the coast. Norway is rich in natural resources and has always taken a long-term approach to resource management for the benefit of society as a whole. The ocean industries make up a substantial proportion of the Norwegian economy and provide a living for many coastal communities. Norway's position as a leading ocean economy is to a large extent due to its well-developed business clusters and local communities along the coastline with skilled employees and thriving businesses. The environmental state of Norwegian waters is generally good. Globally, however, climate change, loss of biodiversity, pollution, marine litter, and overexploitation of marine resources are putting the oceans under increased pressure. Policies promoting a sustainable ocean economy are therefore vital to all of us and essential in order to reach the UN Sustainable Development Goals. To achieve this, we need knowledge-based, integrated, and sustainable ocean management. Norway has long-standing and relevant experience, which we share through capacity-building development programs. This is also the essence of the high-level panel for a sustainable ocean economy, co-chaired by the Norwegian Prime Minister. The panel aims to increase the international understanding of how sustainable use of ocean and maintenance of good environmental status can lead to significant value creation. The speed of change and technological advances mean that constant efforts are needed to stay at the forefront of developments. It also entails the need to update and develop international regulatory frameworks, and also here Norway seeks to play an active role. In 2019, we launched our updated ocean strategy, Blue Opportunities. And I'd like to point out two specific areas highlighted in the strategy where Norway has high ambitions and where Norwegian and French companies have joined forces in some exciting and future-oriented projects: green shipping and offshore wind. Let me start off with green shipping. We know that the introduction of stricter environmental requirements for international shipping by the International Maritime Organization, IMO, will result in growing global demand for environmental and climate technology in the years ahead. We believe that by developing new zero and low emission solutions for maritime transport, Norway can make an important contribution to global climate and environmental efforts. The Norwegian government's action plan for green shipping from 2019 presents a plan for cutting domestic greenhouse gas emissions, strengthening the Norwegian maritime industry, and contributing to the global technological developments needed for the world to achieve the targets of the Paris Agreement. A concrete example of cooperation between Norwegian and French companies in this field takes place within the EU-funded flagship project, which aims to develop two commercially operated hydrogen vessels, one in Norway and one in France. 7 million euro have been awarded in order to construct a utility vessel that will operate on the Rhone River in Lyon, as well as a zero-emission passenger and car ferry to be operated in Stavanger. France and Norway are also working closely together within the IMO to increase global climate ambitions, and our relevant ministries have launched a bilateral dialogue to share experiences, which I'm very excited about. The second area that I would like to highlight is offshore wind power, a rapidly growing sector internationally, as Ms. Monbe mentioned. At present, nearly all offshore wind installations use fixed foundation turbines. However, Norwegian industries have considerable maritime and petroleum-related experts that could play a role in the development of floating wind farms. Norwegian companies have noted with great interest the decision made by France to develop commercial floating offshore wind parks, with the first tenders planned for next year. In June this year, the Norwegian government also opened for large-scale development of both floating and bottom-fixed offshore wind. In the long term, offshore wind power could become profitable in the Norwegian market, but research and development is a crucial element in cutting costs and providing new and improved solutions for floating offshore wind. This spring, EU granted a total of 25 million euro to a pilot project where Norwegian and French companies take part to install and test a floating wind turbine of 10 megawatts in Western Norway. This pilot aims to demonstrate the viability and profitability of installing larger wind turbines on floating platforms to operate in North Sea conditions. It will, we hope, pave the way for future large and more economically viable floating wind farms. Ladies and gentlemen, the first session of this seminar has both been inspiring and encouraging. The program illustrates the strong relationship and cooperation between Norway and France when it comes to ocean-based industries. And today's discussions illustrate the huge potential for future cooperation. I'm happy to see that the speakers have been so open and ready to find new areas of cooperation and building bridges, as Oda said. Because to ensure a more sustainable future, we need governments, international organizations, businesses, and civil society to continue to work together. And I'd like to underline how important it is for Norway to partner with France in this field. Finalement, je vous souhaite beaucoup de succès pour la poursuite de cette conférence. Tusen takk for meg, og lykke til med seminaret. Thank you for your attention and for bearing with me and my poor French. Good luck with the seminar.